Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, this is Boisterous coming to you with some Diamond League destruction on the map Antigua Shipyard. Spawning down here in the bottom right-hand corner, we have MarkRocksRH as our red Protoss buddy. Up here in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent Antipants as the blue Zerg. Now, of course, I'm a furious supporter of the anti-pant movement. I think pants are too restricting. Everybody should wear shorts. You know, somewhere around there. I mean, pants are just... I mean, this guy takes it to the next level because he actually named himself for the movement. However, I mean, pants are a menace to society, you could even say. We see anti-pants going for maybe a drone trick, which is something that, again, has fallen out of style very, very much recently. It's definitely something that's not nearly as cool as it used to be. It used to be like, ooh, he's drone tricking. Oh, man. Or extractor tricking. Look at this guy. Man. What an awesome person. But now it's just like that, it's actually kind of a waste because you just lose 6 minerals in the process and you really don't get any gain at all. It makes no sense. Just build your drone or build your overlord at 9 and you will be perfectly fine. Don't lose those like 6 minerals off of your original patches, which may seem not a lot, but just imagine, alright, if you're in that engagement and it's down to the wire. Both of you one base all end. You need 1 roach to end the game. Not even that. You need to build a drone and a hatchery to end the game. And you're 5 minerals short, and your minerals run out, and the Protoss player is camped at the base of your ramps, and he has all of his photon cannons set up, and he's like, no. And that would be awful, because all you need is a drone, and then you can expand, and then you're perfectly fine. But you just don't have it. You just don't have it. That'd be horrible. Anyway, we have the fast expand in. Ooh, whoa, Nexus first. Man, that is a ballsy build, especially on a map like this, especially with building positioning like this. And he's, whoa, this guy is like the Protoss version of me. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about pressure. He's actually going for 2 gateways. Alright, so maybe he does care about pressure. Maybe he cares just a little bit. If it was like the Protoss version of me, he would have dropped the gateway, dropped 4 assimilators, and then gone for Stargates. I mean, let's be honest, that's like the ballsiest play ever. There's so much you could die to. And then you could just blame it on the build. Which, it's the reason I play so ridiculously. Because I can just be like, well, build screwed that one up for me. That sucks. God damn it, build. Why do I need to do such ridiculous things? Man. Oh well, we have Antipants going for the queens. Now, of course, I bet he likes the queens because the queens actually wear skirts. I actually wouldn't be surprised if he plays Zerg purely for the fact that they're the only race with absolutely no units that wear pants. Even if we look at like these zealots, they're kind of wearing armored pants. I mean, let's be honest, zealots, come on, stop wearing those pants. What are you doing? You gotta get to like the anti-pants level of your society. You gotta get to that Zerg level of evolution where you don't even need pants anymore. You're just like a creepy naked race of aliens that runs around and mauls stuff with claws. And it looks like we are going to have 3 zealot pressure, and 3 zealot pressure, ooh, actually, whoa, it's just going to be like a mass zealot pressure. Wow, this might actually be a little bit scary. The first spine crawler is coming down. The queens are coming out, and these queens are definitely going to play a huge engagement in the next fight. The creep tumor is getting dropped, so the creep will be spread in a decent amount of time. This 4th queen will be able to come down and help. And I like what Antipants is doing right here. He's just building drones, because if you're up against zealots, Zerglings aren't going to do a whole lot. Zerglings are kind of going to slow them down. Just get your economy up, build spine crawlers, and build queens. Because queens, especially after that buff, are frighteningly useful against zealots. You can kite zealots as long as you stay on creep. You can own them. As long as you keep them within range of one of your spine crawlers, you're perfectly fine. And we have these 5 zealots kind of starting to run away. And that's all you need to do. All you need to do is reveal those 2 queens, and your opponent will not want to come anywhere near you, because 2 queens after that patch are extremely, extremely scary. Like, even if like they come off creep and they're like so slow, so slow, they still have 5 range, which makes them frightening. Because you don't want to get shot with those like those like talon acidy things. And we have an interesting Stargate play coming up. And I'm saying interesting purely because of the fact that he knows that Antipants has a lot of queens. Usually if your opponent already has that kind of mass queen mentality going, you don't want to go air units because that's just silly. You're just going to lose them. Because queens are pretty good against air. I mean, they are the Zerg tier 1 anti-air. We have the Zealot attack force coming in, and these queens actually do not have the backup of creep, and that's going to be very, very important. This is what I would call a bad decision making on the Zerg player. He is going to get 1 queen out of there, but his expansion is going to be canceled. His poor drone is just going to get absolutely ripped apart. Let's be honest, there's absolutely no chance. Oh my god, why is he... Whew. Oh my god, dodged a bullet there. If those Zealots had come up that ramp and seen that spine crawler burrowing, there would have been blood in the water. Oh god, that would have been disgusting. We have another queen coming out for our Bluey Zerg player, and he's going for a very, very heavy amount of Zerglings. Zergling speed, interestingly enough, has not even started being researched, which is a major, major blunder. You really, really need Zergling speed against a Protoss army, because that mobility is kind of the only thing you have. It's the only leg up you have, especially when it comes to things like these Zealot pushes, because these Zealots will destroy your Zerglings. They're so much better. Even if they don't have that +1 attack, Zealots are still insanely good against Zerglings if they get to this point where they're like a ball or a wall, or I can't come up with anything that rhymes with ball and wall, so I'm just going to say they're going to crawl through the Zergling forces. And you know, we're seeing that right now, where these Zealots, they're just so good at, you know, staying in this little tiny phalanx position that, you know, they're each kind of like a wall that they're all leaning up against, and it just ruins the surface area for the Zerg player. We see them just clean up all the Zerglings, and that was probably a pretty cost-effective engagement. As you see, the Protoss player is frighteningly cost-effective. Just look at the units lost for our Zerg player. It's like twice as heavy, and that was all those 5 Zealots that just kept running in. Now granted, Antipants had that major blunder where he had both of his queens off creep for some reason, and he had his Zerglings like moving onto one of the queens, like trying to suckle at the queen, and it didn't work at all. And we have Hydras coming out. Now Hydras are an interesting tech choice. Did he see? I guess he might have seen the Stargate. Oh, he has seen the Stargate. Okay, never mind. It's not interesting. It's basically standard. So yeah, I completely understand why he's going for these Hydras. Of course, I'm a big proponent of Infestor play, like Infestor Corruptor play against Stargates, because honestly, Infestors and Corruptors are better than most of the Stargate units that exist. And it allows for you to transition into Broodlord play should your opponent do a transition into some level of Colossus play like we are seeing right now. Because if you have a Zergling Hydralisk army and your opponent transitions into Colossus, you're screwed. There's really no nice way to put that. There's no way you're getting off with that. You're going to get absolutely burned to death. All of your Hydralisks will be doing their weird flailing animation, and they're going to be extremely, extremely sad Hydralisks. We have the Zergling force moving back, and still no speed. Man, he's a really strict parent to these Zerglings. He does not want them to drink their Red Bull and get their wings. Oh man. That's cruel. We have this observer from MarkRocksRH just sitting above the layer, watching what is coming out of the main production facility. I'm surprised it's not on like patrol. I like when people do that with their observers. They just have them like on patrol between 2 bases, or even between all 3 bases, because it lets you get like that level of information on everything that your opponent is doing. Like, for example, Antipants. Ooh, MarkRocksRH, does he see it? No, he does not. He actually does not see the Spire coming up. It's just out of range of the Observer. The Observer can see like this top mineral line, but no further. And this Zealot was kind of a balla. He just ran up to the tower and he just started wailing on Zerglings. absolutely destroying him, absolutely destroying them. He got through quite a few. Now, of course, that +1 attack upgrade is coming up from this from our Protossing player. However, the +1 armor for one Berserk player is going to effectively negate that. So Zealots are still not those crazy cost-effective units. And this is a very, very strong push out of our Protoss player. This is a very odd timing to it too, because having this Colossus out, and this Colossus did just get range, is very strong with Void Rays. Because the way that Hydralisks need to pick off Void Rays, because their range is good, but it's not fantastic, they need to dart in and get under, and they need to, and in order to do that, they like clump up. So now you have this awkward position where it's like, do you go for the Void Rays or do you go for the Colossus? Because you need to get those Colossus down, or your Hydralisks are just absolutely going to get roasted like they did right there. And there just wasn't enough units for a Zerg player. And our Zerg player is in a pretty nasty spot right now. I mean, he has 15 roaches on the way, which should be enough to hold this off. However, if Antipants can manage to kill off all the queens, I'm just not sure if there will be anything to do with the Boisterous. The third hatchery does go down, and that's kind of a really awful spot to be in as a Zerg player. All the queens are dying, all the roaches are dying, all the overlords are dying, everything is dying with Antipants. He has a lot of Hydralisks on the way. However, Hydralisks really need the numbers advantage on Void Rays. Their DPS just isn't high enough to deal with Void Rays. Otherwise, and you know, we see that Hydralisk getting roasted, we see that Hydralisk getting roasted, we see this queen about to get roasted, and these queens just don't have the strength in numbers to transmute each other or transfuse each other to really get an upper hand on these Void Rays. And we have, there's a nice transfusion going down. That's really what he needed. Is this queen gonna die? The queen, oh, the queen does die. I'm surprised he didn't get transfused there. It looks like a couple of Zealots were just getting cleaned up by this Roach Horse. But the big story of that battle was this third base going down. If we look at the units lost tab, it's still pretty heavily in the Protoss' favor, and it's even more heavily in the Protoss' favor just because of the fact that he sniped this base. And kind of awkward for Antipants is the fact that I'm pretty sure he knows that these pylons are up here, but he can't deal with them yet until an Overlord gets into position. We have an Overlord coming down here, a speedy Overlord getting down here. I'm not quite sure what propels them. There is a warping of Zealots going to try to deny the base. That was, don't do that. That's not really useful. And all of these pylons are now going to get picked off by the main army of Antipants. And is this last pylon going to get spotted? I think it will. I think it will. Antipants. Yeah, he knows it's there. So he should be perfectly fine. And so let's just look really quickly at the unit composition. We have that same kind of composition where it's very heavily focused on these high-tech units. And MarkRocksRH needs to start to invest in his meat shield units. That's really the only way to put it. He needs to start investing in those stalkers, because against roaches, especially roaches with speed, Colossus are pretty weak. I mean, if they don't have those units on the ground that are willing to just, you know, eat damage for them like the stalker is, then the roaches are just going to dart in and kill you. There's not a whole lot else you can do. And if you just look at this ball, it's going to be pretty potent because of the fact that MarkRocks only has 10 Zealots to ward off the dart in by the roaches. Now, that being said, Antipants cannot engage here. He cannot. That would not be a smart decision. It would not work. And if we look at MarkRocksRH, he did scout out that base building, which is pretty key. There's not a whole lot he can do about it at this point, because again, if he moves out from this wonderful positioning with the photon cannons spread out and the ability to spread his Zealots to really constrict the motion of the roaches, he's probably gonna die. And we actually have 4 DTs. Where are these DTs? Alright, that's an observer. Where are the 4 DTs? Where are these DTs? Oh, up here. And he just saw DT warping in, which is kind of awkward. And we have 5 DTs moving out. I'm not sure why they're not working on killing Hydralisks, because that's actually kind of a good use for DTs. And we have this army coming to engage, but again, like, we're just watching all of the Zealots get completely owned. And now it's kind of just going to be a race for these Colossus to see if they can roast enough Hydralisks for the Void Race to win the fight. And it looks like 3 of the Dark Templar are just going to help ward off the army. They're going to pick off some of the weaker links. And the 4th base is definitely going to get sniped again. There's absolutely no hope for it. And that kind of sucks. That's a very damaging to a Zerg player. Especially just as a mental blow. And it looks like the Overseer is out, and I don't know why these DTs were trying to run. I would have actually just darted into the main base and seen if I could have sniped off a major tech facility, maybe even just a couple of queens. Because sniping off queens is actually a very high blow to the Zerg player. Because, and this is kind of a comment on just how the metagame works right now. People always complain about how queens have inject larvae and Zerg doesn't need to build more production facilities. You know what that makes queens? That makes queens Zerg's main production facility. Just kill the queen. It has 150 life. If you can get a couple of banshees and you can continuously harass the queens and you can continuously kill off queens with drops, with anything else, the Zerg player is not going to have the production to keep up with you. I'm amazed and astounded that that has not come to play in some of the lower leagues, because I'm already not that great with injects, but I'm pretty good and I'm missing an engagement. We have all of the roaches just getting roasted. Yeah, there's really no hope there. But anyway, I'm just going to keep ranting about these queens, because honestly, if you take out the queen, you take out that hatchery's production. There's really nothing else that Zerg player can do about it until another queen comes up. And unless you're playing in like a TVZ where the standard is already just to get 6 queens and push out across the map with creep, just start sniping queens, because he just won't have the production to keep up with you. And yeah, that's all. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. If you want to check out any other videos I've commentated, head on over to youtube.com/user/boisteroussc2. At the same time, there will be a link to a thread in the comments of this video, so go ahead and click on that and check it out. Also, tomorrow at 6 p.m. EST, 3 p.m. PST, I will be commentating the Diamond and Up Forum Tournament, so you guys should all check that out. It should be on my stream. However, there will also be a link in the description for this video to that thread, so if that changes at all, if that shifts, you will be the first to know about it if you just look at that thread before it starts. I think it's going to be on my stream though, personally, and it will probably be casted by me and Kadoink. However, I don't know if Kadoink's internet is going to be set up and if he's going to be set up to commentate with me by that time tomorrow. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. This is Boisterous, signing out.